رزقنا من قبل، يقال لهم لا، هذا يشبه ما رزقتم به من قبل، وأنكم الآن تعاينون الجمال الحقيقي واللذة الحقيقية للوصال مع الله بعد أن تخلصتم من الجسد وأصبحتم في هذه الصورة الروحانية.
One little thing.
Yes.
This Basuraka Yawma Hadith is said in relation to the one who is going to be punished and who cannot prostrate because he could not prostrate before. So I don't mean this will be addressed to the Ahl Jannah. I mean this is a general principle which will apply not only to those who will go to hell but also to those who will go to heaven. In both cases, if their sight is sharpened, of course the sight of the Ahl Jannah would be much more sharpened.
يوضح أمير المؤمنين بأن الآية فبصرك اليوم حديد ستوجه إلى أولئك الذين لم يسجدوا لله والذين سيكونون من أهل النار، ولكن من ناحية المبدأ بصرك اليوم حديد أي أن مواهبك وقدراتك أصبحت أكثر وأعظم من الأول، انكشفت لك أمور لم تكن تنكشف لك من قبل. فمن ناحية المبدأ الجميع سواء كانوا من أهل الجنة أو من أهل النار سوف تكون قدراتهم أكثر بكثير من قدراتهم المادية في هذه الحياة الدنيا. بعد ذلك تحدث أمير المؤمنين ولهم فيها أزواج مطهرة. معظم الناس يظن أن أزواج تعني الرجال، ولكن في الحقيقة أن زوج ينطبق على الرجل وينطبق على المرأة، والآية تعني الاثنين، أزواج مطهرة في الرجال وأزواج مطهرة من النساء. والحقيقة أن الذكورة والأنوثة في مسألة الأرواح غير واردة. هذه الذكورة والأنوثة هي في الأجساد الدنيوية لضرورة التناسل والتكاثر، ولكن إذا تخلصت الروح من الجسد ليست هناك بعد ذلك ذكورة أو أنوثة. فالأزواج المطهرة هم هذه النفوس، هذه الأرواح الطاهرة من الجنسين التي ليس لها الآن صفة الذكورة والأنوثة، وإلا لو كانت الأزواج هي الرجال فمعنى ذلك أن النساء ستحرم من النعيم الذي يتمتع به الرجال أيا كان، وهذا لا يتفق مع وعد الله فأن لهم فيها، ولهم أي للجميع رجالا ونساء. كما أن الحياة في الجنة حياة لا جنس فيها. هذه العلاقات الجنسية المراد منها في الدنيا هو التكاثر، في الآخرة ليس لها معنى، ليست لها وظيفة. إذا ليست هناك تفرقة بين رجل وامرأة في الآخرة، ولكن الجميع يستمتعون معا، كلهم أزواج لبعض أي زملاء ورفقاء في الجنة.
In this regard, they should, normally people have a different concept about these things because the ulama have not told them properly what it would be, and they don't concentrate on the meaning of the Quran themselves, but every believer should do it himself. There are certain things which are completely lacking from the description of Jannah. No children are mentioned at all, that they will be born there. If there is sex, it should have been mentioned as well. No sex is mentioned whatsoever. So, no children, no sex, so what are the who for? This is the question. The answer to this I am going to give you now. The fact is that unless we understand the pleasure in this world, we will not be able to understand the pleasure of the hereafter. The pleasure does not lie in anything material. It only lies in the waves it sends back, or pulses it sends back in electrical form to the mind. When we eat something, the food remains outside. It touches the tongue. Nothing of that food is transferred to the brain who feels the pleasure. What the brain receives is just a message, and that message is not related as much to the food as to its own desire to have something. So some people don't like prawns. They hate the smell of prawns. So prawns themselves don't mean anything. Only those who love prawns, the message is sent to the brain this much, that sort of craving your mind has already been provided. And it's the information which pleases. And love also is simply an information. Hatred again is simply an information. If you sit in company of someone you love, what do you receive? No physical thing, but the pleasure of being close to somebody is in response to the desire of the mind to have that something. So when the desires are fulfilled, it's immaterial whatever is the form of the fulfillment. So that is why the Holy Quran explains the philosophy of Jannah. وَلَكُمْ فِيهَا مَا تَشْتَهِي أَنفُسُكُمْ وَلَكُمْ فِيهَا مَا تَدَّعُونَ. Whatever you desire, you will get, and that is the pleasure. So some people here in the West, they are very sensual minded. The same is not true of the East, but here they give open voiced, open, expression to what they feel. In the East we hide it, and it's more hypocritical attitude in the East. But here, even a small girl can stand up and say, look here, will there be sex in Jannah? So my answer to them is, what do you think sex is? It's only, in fact, a slow development, evolutionary development of desire of man to live forever. And that desire was fulfilled by God in the form of reproduction. No animal could live forever, but through reproduction he saw himself projected into future. Now this pleasure was the original thing. Buds of all the senses, they were created because of this pleasure. And they took a form of a physical bud, so the sensation is sent, look here, this is your desire which is now being fulfilled, there is a likelihood of your being eternalized. Now every time it is not fulfilled, so God out of blessing has created this bud system. The glands, the buds, etc., they send the message to the mind that your desire to live forever is provided in the form of this machinery. And now it would be possible now, it would be possible then. Even those who are sterile, they are not deprived of this opportunity. But what reaches the brain? What reaches the brain through that? Anything. Nothing except the pulses. And those pulses reach the centers. So in the final analysis, the pleasure is pulse, vibration, and watch, which reach the brain. Now some people say, what is the pleasure of love of God and all of this? Will we not be bored? Of course not. If they have trained themselves to love God,